Welcome back, everybody, to the All Fresh Chat.
What's up, everyone?
We are your hosts with the most. My name is DJ Bass,
Yo soy l.hundo.
if you don't already know, though. And this is the All Fresh Chat. This is the podcast, our webisode. I'm not sure what webisode we're on right now, but we're on one of the webisodes. So what's going on, dude? How was the work week?
Dude, I'm glad it's over. The week went by fast, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's been going by fast.
I'm so happy that it just went and
Yep.
we're on our day off.
Yep, another weekend to enjoy, another 4-day weekend. But any music lately? You working on anything new?
Yeah, I got this new track that is finished. I played it for you after the last episode.
I remember, yes.
I actually want you to check it out after the podcast because I feel like the bass is too high, but super chill beat, and I can't wait to put it out. It's amazing. Like, I can't stop listening to it.
Yeah, that's dope though. You're on this like lo-fi kick, man. That's freaking sick. I was on my little lo-fi kick. Actually, I'm still on the lo-fi kick right now. I was going through some of my old beats, and then I have enough for an actual like lo-fi beat tape. But
you should share your first one.
Oh, the first one, yeah.
I was listening to that one pretty religiously when I was working graveyard shifts.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so that's where I got my plays from. I got like 12 plays, man. It's all from you, bro.
Hey, low key, I'm your biggest supporter, bro. I'm your biggest fan, bro.
One of those plays was mine. No, but yeah, it's the lo-fi extended play. That got flagged on DistroKid, which is crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it got flagged. I had to go and dispute it because I guess somebody claimed it for their own or something like that. And then it's been happening a lot lately. It happened with the Dope album.
Oh snap!
And people,
the first one?
No, the new one that just came out.
Oh snap! Okay.
Yeah, like it was out for like 2 days, and all of a sudden I got an email saying that that somebody filed the dispute against me or something like that. So I had to dispute it, saying that it's mine. I own the rights to it.
Oh snap, dude!
It's probably for the beat you made, the Aerosmith sample.
Yeah, probably. Well, speaking of that, man, I didn't know they could flag you down.
Yeah.
I
don't think they flag you like they take it down. I think you just can't get paid for it.
Ah, okay.
And yeah, I mean, if it's a sampled beat, I don't expect to get paid.
Yeah.
But yeah, the album's out now. His instrumental's out now. His beat tape is out now. So everybody go and check it out. I got
and
this.
The Dope album's out.
The Dope. Volume 2.
The Dope.
Man,
I drink that coffee too fast and my mouth is dry and I'm stuttering a little bit because the caffeine's kicking in.
You nervous, bro?
No, I'm not. I'm just...
Hey, is this that...
weird.
Is this that water you drink from the Cap Pro?
Mm-hmm. They sponsored us.
You refilled it with tap water and you gave me it? So here,
yeah,
this is all we got.
Faucet water, bro. I'm trying to be all bougie still, but it's all faucet water.
It's all good.
Water. Check this out, dude.
Uh-oh.
I heard this and I thought it was dope. I think you heard it too. But it says, if you are slacking and not doing what you need to do, like with your gift and your passion, you are disrespecting the ones who believe in you.
Oh, dang, that's cool. No, I didn't hear that.
That's a slap in the face to the ones who believe in you. And I was like, whoa, dude, like, I was looking at that this morning and I was like, that's so like dope and motivational. Like,
yeah,
it makes you want to work harder on your skills and your music and whatnot. So I thought I'd share that with you guys.
Yeah, that's actually fucking dope.
Yep. It's,
man, yeah, lately I've been slacking. I mean, like, I've been saying it for the past 3 episodes. All my work ethic comes in splurts. So I feel like I'm slacking right now, but I know as soon as I get back on the hustle, it's gonna be a lot of stuff coming out.
Well, I don't think you're slacking. Because I mean, you're doing a lot of things. At least I noticed that you're doing a lot of things.
Yeah, but I don't know.
But everyone's their own worst critic, you know.
True, because I feel like I could be doing more. That's why. It's like I do this little, you know, I do like a little artwork, and I stop, take a break, and then I feel like, oh, I shouldn't take a break. But yeah, I guess that's every creator.
There's nothing wrong with breaks, man. I mean, we talked about that in the past. Breaks are awesome.
Yeah,
breaks are helpful and they're key to being a creator.
Mm-hmm.
Bring a resting your mind.
Yeah, but I guess it just comes to like, you know, actually what the subject I want to talk about today. You know, putting in work.
Put in work.
Put them in the dirt. But yeah, dude, it's putting in work. It's you know, it has different meanings. For us, putting in work is just like just constantly grinding, you know, in the studio, putting out, you know, projects and stuff. To others, it just means like, you know, putting in work. You know, as far as music goes, putting in work for a crew. Like, I don't know if you ever heard the story of like Mike Jones and Paul Wall when they were with Swisher House. They before like that single, you know, Still Tipping. They were on the team, but they were just passing out flyers for the shows for Swisher House.
Oh snap!
Yeah, and then one day they just got like, hey, you guys want to do a song? So Mike Jones did that song, Still Tipping, and he got, of course, Slim Thug on it and Paul Wall, and that thing just blew up.
Yeah, that's dope, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, to backtrack that, yeah, they were putting in work. They were the ones that were passing out flyers, you know, and I mean, we've done that. We've passed out flyers. We've sold tickets.
That one show we did, all the homies went to in LA, and
yeah,
they had to sell tickets, and I think you, me, and Quiet hustled the most and sold.
Yeah, actually, it was mostly
tickets.
It was mostly you and Quiet that just sold the most, and that you guys like made up almost all of our money. That, you know, because it was, of course, it was pay to play, and if you're not familiar with pay to play, a lot of times, you know, they'll give you a certain amount of tickets to sell so that you can, you know, perform. And if you don't sell enough tickets, then you have to pay out of pocket.
Mm-hmm. Was it the whiskey club?
Whiskey Go-Go, yeah,
or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It was Key Club.
The Key Club.
Yeah. Well, I think Whiskey was down the way, but yeah, Key Club, when everybody was rushing to try to sell the last bit of tickets, everybody gave up.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I didn't give up. I was just, because I was the DJ. I had to like.
Yeah, you had your mind and focused on what you had to do.
Well, not only that, I had to like bring in like I had to make sure the set was ready to go, and you know, I felt bad because, you know, you guys were putting in all that footwork trying to sell tickets, and I you know, I should have been there with you guys, but I had to like, you know, focus on other things. But yeah, dude, that was a good show. That was a fun show. I didn't like the sound guy getting mad at me, but
what happened?
So my thing, you know, is I like to, as a DJ, I like to be on the mic too, so I can just help out with like ad libs and like, you know, overdubs and stuff. I just like to, you know, be on the mic, and there was only, I believe, 2 or 3 mics at the time. I think there was 3 mics. So as a backup plan, I always brought my own microphone so I could plug straight into the
mixer,
DJ mixer. But I guess it was giving off a lot of feedback. So you know, of course, it was my microphone. It was a Shure mic. You know, if anybody's familiar with Shure mics, those mics are pretty damn good. They're expensive. So I brought my Shure mic, and then, you know, I plugged it in. You can hear me kind of, but I noticed there was a lot of feedback. So that's when I was like, okay, cool. I'm not gonna be on the mic tonight because it's just giving off way too much feedback. So I just I put it down by the mixer, and the sound guy, I guess he can hear like there was feedback, so he was getting mad. So he came around the corner and saw like my microphone was plugged in. So he grabbed it, unplugged it, and just dropped it on the floor.
Oh man!
And I was so pissed. I was like, dude, I'm gonna f this guy up, man. But yeah, he was all pissed off about it. I mean, it was my fault, but still, you know, you shouldn't just throw somebody's microphone like that, especially a Shure mic.
Man, that's disrespectful for sure, dude.
Yeah.
That was a pretty gnarly show, dude.
It was. Thinking about it now, I kind of got mad because like you guys did the most amount of footwork, And you guys didn't even get like your own songs. You guys were just features on songs.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, you know, I don't know if it's you can call that paying dues, but I feel like you guys should have had your own song.
That's the past, I guess.
Yeah, we were.
I wouldn't get pissed off, but at least, you know, I could say that I did work, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you
I put in work even if it was probably not recognized as much as it should be, but
yeah,
it is what it is. You know, it'd be nice to know that in the future there's someone who puts in work for me
yeah,
like that, you know? But
Mhm.
I don't know if people are even trying to put in work anymore. Like, I know a while back there was a young kid, you know, and this is back when you and me were talking about building an artist. So
right.
there was a young kid I knew, and he was he was the cousin of my ex-girlfriend.
Oh
And
yeah, I remember him.
he was pretty dope, you know, he had potential. So I told him, I was like, "Yeah, dude, you know, if you want to work with me, you got to, you got to be willing to work, you know, on
Right.
music and then
Mhm.
also put in work."
Yeah.
So he said, "Well, what's putting in work?" And I kind of like in my head I was like, "What?" Like,
Yeah, I know.
and I explained, "Well, check it out, dude. Like, here's an example. If I have something I need to do, if I have like," and I made it super easy for him. I was like, "All you have to do is if I share a post and I ask you like, hey, you know, just share it, you know,
Yeah.
whether it's a new track or release or something, like that's a form of putting in work.
Yeah.
You know, just promoting, helping promote.
Well, it's paying dues.
Yeah,
And it's just I don't know what happened there, but anyways, continue. You were talking about you was gonna share a post.
yeah. So I explained to him, you know, here's an example of putting in work. Um, share, help me promote my music.
Right.
Um, since you're not, it's not like he's old enough to come to shows or anything and pass out flyers or anything or, you know, do any footwork. And, you know, at that time, everything was more internet posts and no more physical flyers and whatnot.
Yeah, it still is.
Oh, it still is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he didn't really understand that concept because I don't know what you mean by putting in work. So anyways, they most, like I said, most of them don't want to put in work and they just,
Well, because most of them don't know what putting in work is or paying dues is, you know. Because a lot of kids nowadays they just do it. Excuse me. They just do it because of they're just trying to get the clout, TikTok and Instagram clout, and that's cool and all, but there's days that you gotta if you really want to build your empire, you have to put in the footwork.
yep.
And a lot of people don't know that. You have to pay dues, especially going back to us. We were trying to get into a crew, Sonata Orchestration or Desert Eagles, whatever you want to call it. And in order to get in, we had to like put in a lot of footwork. Yeah, we were the ones passing off flyers, selling tickets. We were at the door charging people for at the shows that they were performing at.
Couldn't even get into the bar underage.
Yeah,
you know. And
but we were out in the
we were
front
like,
right there.
we'll put in work. You know,
we're the ones out front, looking at IDs.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, we were paying our dues. We were putting in work, not only in the studio, but as the team player. And yeah, we went through a lot. We went through it, and I just remember like putting in the work, and it was just like I was excited because we were working towards something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kid you not, I felt the same way.
Yeah, I mean that goes back to being in love with the journey, and yeah, it was fun. It was awesome. We were putting in work towards something bigger, and finally when we became a part of it, they had like the whole. At least for me, I don't remember what we did for you, but they had like pop bottles of champagne when I finally was part of SO, and I think you were a month later or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was the same time Three Strikes officially became part of it, but
Right.
that was so random, man. Like I was like, I think I was tired from work too, so I wasn't really there mentally.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna go. We're gonna get you in. You're gonna be officially part of SO." And
Yeah.
someone's picking up the bottles right now, and 3 Strikes is also gonna be part. So
Yeah.
I was happy, but I was like, man, it's like tired. I gotta work in the morning too.
Like, so when you finish cleaning our restroom, come outside.
When you finish washing our bikes, Rook. No, was it a Prospect? You come back and be part of the crew.
Thanks for washing my car, Rook. No, but we didn't do stuff like that. We were just like putting in work, as far as the team goes.
Yeah,
we're carrying equipment, stuff like that. Like people don't go through that anymore. People don't go through carrying equipment.
They all want it easy, dude. Like it's like they want you to hold their hand and walk them into your crew.
Yes.
And say, oh, you don't have to do anything. Just you're in.
But what did kind of grind my gears was, I mean, I didn't mind putting in the work, but help out every so often. There was times where I was carrying like all my DJ equipment into one of the clubs, and then nobody. Some people would help bring it in, but as far as breaking stuff down, at the end of the night, you're tired. You're exhausted. At least I was exhausted because I was probably DJing for all the crews, and nobody was around to help me unload or pack back up. And that was kind of like, oh man, you guys, come on, guys, you guys can help me out. I'll help you guys out. But that was one thing that was the downside of it. I think I would have just asked for help. I probably would have got help. But what was cool was, I don't know if we didn't perform that night, but when Dilated People came through, Dilated People performed at this club called La Estancia. And the homie Smoke One was DJing the whole night. And that was actually his equipment that they were using. So, DJ Babu was DJing on his equipment. And after the show, you and me, of course, we stayed back to like talk to Smoke One and the homie DJ Osiris. And we're just chilling, helping them out, like packing everything up. And then the cool thing was the evidence came back and he's like, hey, do you guys need help with anything? And we were like, oh, dang, that's cool.
Yeah, that was like.
And we're like, no, we're good, man. But hey, good show, man. That was the dope show.
Yeah, that was. I was amazed that he just came back and humble as he is, and said, hey, you guys need help putting stuff away. In my head, I was like, whoa, dude! Like I've never heard an artist of his status, to be super humble like that.
Mm-hmm. Like that was like, oh dang, that this guy's a real one. Like he's humble. Yeah. Yeah, like we were putting in work, even when we didn't have to. Like we didn't need to be there to help out Smoke One, but we do it because I guess we're used to it.
Yeah, I think for VA or Vinyl Assassins, I think we were putting in work, but it was like whatever, like it wasn't like just homie shit. I think more it was closer to homie shit. Like
right,
I'll help you get your gear, but. Everywhere, all turntable nerds always hanging out. So of course you wanted to help them out and put stuff away. But yeah, I think it was more of DJs being maybe like an honor system of DJs. Right. Like, oh yeah, I know the struggle. So we'll help you put stuff away.
Yeah, that was a cool night. And as because we're both DJs, we know that, like you said, we know the struggle of like packing your stuff up and. Especially if like a DJ is carrying like, techniques, then that's going to be the heavy part.
Anything back-breaking, dude.
Yeah. You can break your back literally lifting one of these Techniques turntables, man. That's how crazy it is.
Yeah, all the DJs that know.
They all know. That's why a lot of them switch to controllers. They don't want to carry that thing around.
But that new Rain controller, dude, with the platter and the plates.
Yeah.
Dude, that looks dope, dude.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, I bet you though, I kid you not, I feel like Rain is gonna end up putting out those smaller turntables, so like 7-inch. 7-inch.
Oh, that would be sick.
I have a feeling that they're gonna do that move next.
That'd be cool. That you can plug in like a USB to it and just like load up like your scratch sounds and stuff.
No, you know how Bismarck has those small Techniques, the 7-inch?
Yeah.
I feel like they're gonna do that. Individual ones.
Oh yeah. Oh,
because I think they touch the surface.
Oh, I thought you meant like as far as like a portable. Like it'd be cool if they had like their own like little portable where you can not only like scratch like the 7-inch, the skipless records, but you can also like plug in, like say
Oh,
a
that would
U
be cool
like
too.
a
Yeah.
little thumb drive, and just bring in your sounds, and
Yeah.
it'll play off a speaker the beat that's on that thumb drive, and then you can load up your scratches on the turntable.
There's something like that, but it doesn't have a platter that moves. It's like
Oh yeah.
You seen that one? I don't really. I'm not being a hater. It's just
No,
I don't think
it's not
I
being,
need that movement, you know?
Yeah, because
That
we're used to it.
yeah.
I mean, a kid like nowadays, like that's never touched a turntable, that would be like the thing for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm all for it. I'm all for
Yeah.
the evolution of DJing and turntablists. The purists are always going to be like, one of my passions, being a purist of turntables. But I mean, I'm curious to see what the new DJing stuff is going to be like in the future. It might be all controllers, and a lot of the purists are going to hate that. But I'm welcoming it, man.
Yeah, I'm down with it. I'm sure there's gonna be something that'll catch my eye more. Like
Yeah, especially if like one of these controller DJs is like throwing on like a dope set.
mm-hmm.
Like yeah, I've seen some controller DJs, like especially like in Vegas and stuff. Some of those, like, they'll be like doing beat juggling on these little 24-inch freaking controllers, and they're getting down. I'm like,
Oh, yeah,
dang, dude, that's dope.
I think if you're a dope DJ, it doesn't matter what you use.
Yeah.
You can get down on whatever. And I mean, Smoke is a perfect example. He can get down on controllers and cut it up on controllers too.
Yeah.
I think it's just if you're skilled enough. I don't think you like. Yeah. I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm not gonna touch that controller because I'm a hardcore DJ and I need turntables. Like if someone tells you, hey, show some skills, whatever it is that they have, they could have a controller setup, or they could have a piece of crap setup.
Yeah.
Bleeding fader, and they want to see you still do something. Mm-hmm. So just you gotta use what they have.
Yeah. Actually, I it was at Guitar Center, I believe. I went one time, and then one of the DJs was like testing out one of the new controllers, and he had scratch sounds on it. I was like, oh, dope. And so like I kind of like got behind, kind of like formed a little line. So I got behind him, and he's like, "Are you trying to scratch?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm down." So he let me scratch, and then like of course the platter didn't move. You just see like the little light move around like that. So I was like, trying to get used to it. And every time I would scratch, of course, like us will like do that. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I will push it forward, and then it'll like like that. And then he was like, no, you can't push it forward. Like you mess with turntables. And I'm like, yeah. It's like, yeah, this is just lift your hand up. Don't even push forward. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And that's cool that he like right away like he noticed that I'm probably like a turntablist. And he was like, yeah, you don't want to push forward like you would on a turntable. I'm like, oh, damn, okay, cool. But yeah, that was super, super dope. And yeah, man, fucking.
I know we got hella off topic, but it was good, like we jumped from that to that,
Yeah, it's cool. But the downsides of putting in work or paying dues. Everybody wants to pay dues towards something awesome.
Yeah, they're working for something, right?
Yes.
To some type of outcome.
Yeah, some kind of whether it's joining a crew, whether it's you're paying your dues, like
getting to perform, getting to be on someone's track.
Yeah. Like even like collaborating. If there's a producer you guys an MC really likes, he's paying his dues by like sharing the producer's beats when he puts a beat up. And it's like, yo, this beat was dope. You all should check it out. And then next they start working together. So that's another form of paying dues. One of the downsides of paying dues is you got to kind of recognize what you're doing it for. Some people pay dues and they get screwed over in the end. That's when you want to get out of that situation.
Yeah, I think you got to be smart enough to know that you are taking another step to the outcome, whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes, for example, you're putting in work, you're just putting in all this work and you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You should understand like, oh, I'm not getting anywhere, But if you see, like, for example, you put in work and like, okay, this time we'll let you come to the spot and chill with us, get to know us. That's, you're getting a little step closer. Next thing you know, you get to be chilling with them in the studio. Next thing you know, you get to be checking out their beats, so just be conscious of the little, whatever, with mark points.
You just be conscious of like if you're being used.
Yeah. There you go.
Because if they're just having you like like I made a joke about him cleaning a bathroom. Like if they're doing stuff like that, or they make you like clean restrooms, or like hey, like fucking clean my studio, and then you can stay here tonight. I mean, kind of pick and choose what you do. It's like if it involves like freaking hygiene, then don't do it.
I mean, don't be no one's bitch.
Yeah.
Sorry for cussing, but don't be no one's bitch.
Just... And know your worth, man. Like, you might be paying dues. You might be paying dues because people don't know who you are. But if you're like, truly, if you're really talented and they haven't heard that yet, like kind of pick and choose the dues you pay. Because you don't just be paying dues because you feel like you should. One situation I was in, I was of course I was the youngest in our crew. So a lot of the homies would treat me as a little brother. And they would like bully me in the studio, and I would hate it every freaking time. And it got to a point where like I wanted to leave the crew, the whole s2e6 crew, because I was getting talked down to, and then people were trying to tell me what to do with my career. I don't know if you remember that meeting we had.
Oh yeah.
Where I wanted to like just do more beat battles, and they were like, "No, just make beats for us." I was like, what? Like I literally almost left the crew then, but of course I stayed back. I stayed with them, and then we built a nice little team. But yeah, you always gotta like pay attention to those situations. What's gonna benefit you? Don't do it to where it's gonna benefit them unless it's gonna benefit you, I guess. That makes sense.
That's a good point. You gotta make sure that it. Yeah, that's actually, you said it well, dude.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like us putting in work did get us, got us where we're at. But sometimes too, it was benefiting others more, which is ashamed, and it sucked that I kind of saw that, like I think I learned that you were like, people are not as down with you as you're down with them. Like, I guess the best thing to say is people want you to succeed, but not before them.
Yeah.
So I kind of started seeing that, and I stopped like putting in work. I was like, and I got to the point where I was like, you know what, I've paid my dues, I've done enough, and I'm going to focus on myself. Like if I don't know, there's like every crew, there's issues,
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I did learn that there are people that are not as down with you, man. And I think also like one of the example was like everyone would tell you, "Oh, I'm performing, come to my show, come to my show, be there." And I was, of course, thinking like, "Oh, we're all crew, yeah, like I'll be there." And then when I have shows, like when we had shows and we'd tell them, no one would, a lot of them wouldn't come. There'd be the close ones that we know would come.
Yeah.
But the other ones wouldn't show up, and I was like, "Oh, that kind of sucks," like you kind of show support for them and thinking like, "Oh, we're a team and we're gonna rise up like a team."
Yeah.
But that's at that point, like little seeds were planting in my head, like, okay, just start taking a step away, and
I noticed that
not being close to certain ones and not others, just because like they support you, and you don't want to be a sucker at the end of the day. That for me, that's the main thing. Is like, I'm not gonna be a sucker. Like. Like you start to know when, and you just break away, little by little.
Yep.
And branch. Basically, it. I would rather say branching out, because like there is no hate. It's just branching out, and I'm gonna go this way, But at the end of the day, we're all part of the same tree, because there's nothing but love. Because so many lessons come from putting in work.
Right.
Like I can honestly say that I'm thankful for that, and I learned a lot from them.
Yeah, we definitely learned a lot. Especially like when we went on tour and we
Mhm.
applied everything we learned,
Yeah, yeah.
and like we were the openers, but I mean, a lot of people. I'm pretty sure a lot of people remembered our performances
Oh,
because
yeah.
of how we delivered, how professional we were, all that stuff.
Yeah, and we that and like that was the positive side for us of putting in work is the knowledge we gained from each and every one that we were hanging around with, you know.
Yeah, yeah, that was the dope part of it. That was yeah, dude, going on tour, that was dope. That was really really fortunate for us, and how like we were ready. Like, you know what I mean? We were ready for these performances, and little all the little mistakes that would happen. Like we already knew. Like, you forget your lyrics, so you start freestyling. Um, the music would cut off, so you and Quiet would just start a
Acapella.
cappella. Like everything was all ready. Like we paid enough dues to where we were like show ready,
Yeah.
and that was super super sick. And
I think that's why I am more thankful and appreciative of like all this stuff that happened within the crew
mhm.
because it molds you. It just
Yeah,
made you be who you are right now, you know.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, so there are upsides, there are downsides, and it's self awareness. You really really gotta be aware of like what's going on. Are you really really working towards something that's gonna benefit you at the end? Um, I mean, there were some times where I was putting in a lot of footwork and then nothing came out of it.
That was unrecognized, huh?
It was either unrecognized or just nothing. There was no result, and yeah, it sucks, but you live and you learn. And I'm hoping whoever's listening right now kind of like takes this conversation like, oh yeah, I'm gonna apply that to what I'm doing if I'm really gonna put in work.
Yeah. Most importantly, though, is you got to put in work for yourself.
Yes, because that is what was that you said about putting in? You're investing in yourself by putting in work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Invest in yourself. That's the most important thing. Don't shortchange yourself. Like
No.
you're only just gonna screw yourself over. So do what you need to do to keep moving forward on your music, and you gotta stop partying. Then do it. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
for me, that was a form of investing in myself too, because I was making sure I had more time. You know, I was giving myself more time for music. Back then, I was working 8 hour shifts, so I just felt like, and then I was doing jujitsu, so time was against me. And then on my days off, all the homies would want to party. So then again, I was getting, we're all getting destroyed.
Yeah.
So guess what? The next day you're hungover, so you're sleeping all day.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I was lucky, at Sunday would be the time to make some music. So I just got tired of that, and that's back then. I think I was 24 when I decided to not to party. Like
Not
I
to get
got I got tired
annihilated.
of it. Yeah, not to get destroyed, and I got tired of the hangovers and wasting all my time. So I said I'm gonna stop and focus more on music. And next thing you know, I went to 10 hour shifts, so I had an extra day to work on music. Next thing you know, I went to 12 hour shifts. Now I got 4 days to work on music, like to be productive. I mean, I'm not constantly working those 4 days, but I can say that I am doing work those days. Like I'm doing like you can say I'm doing an 8 hour shift on those days of working on music, you know?
Yeah, you're clocking into it
Hmm.
basically.
So yeah, invest in yourself. So
Not only money wise. I mean, yes,
knowledge wise
yeah,
too. Yeah.
invest in yourself. It is one thing to invest money into yourself, but the most important thing is investing time into yourself.
Time and knowledge for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you might, like he said, you might be working 5/8. You might be working freaking 80 hours a week. As long as you like have like 30 minutes to an hour to sit down and like work on your passion, that's more than enough. 'Cause, you know, it's as long as you're working on it, that's always a plus. You know, you might be at a job where you can listen to like, you know, your headphones and stuff and while you work. And that's very like that's helpful for us because like we'll listen to like another podcast, we'll listen to like sometimes I'll listen to like tutorials and stuff. And I'll learn how to do things while I'm working. And yeah, you're just investing like little bit of time here and there into yourself, into your knowledge.
Definitely, dude. Like I can't kid you not. Work it definitely very thankful that work allows you to be able to listen to music and podcasts because there's little things I learned, you know, from podcasts listening to or motivational stuff to get stuck in my head and help me. And even beats too. Like when I was working the 8-hour shifts and I was rhyming,
Right.
like I was able to put my headphones on and listen to beats. You listen to your beats and
Yeah.
write, you know, like I'd always write down. I would always have a paper in my back pocket. And I'd be writing down like food for thought. So
Yeah.
little rhymes, bars, patterns, and metaphors. And there was, I even when I was at work, I was doing work.
Yeah. Now.
You know, so I'm thankful for that too.
You're paying dues while you're paying dues.
Yeah.
It's you know it as a rhymer, it's a lot easier to like, you know, you be working, you know, doing your job, and then you just think of a rhyme in your head, like, oh, dope. So you go and write that down. But as like me as a freaking as a music producer, and it was hard to like think of a beat and having to go write it down. Like you can't really write down a beat.
Boom, clap, boom, 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 clap. And then you had the bass.
I mean, yeah, you can like hum it and stuff and like record it on your phone, but it's never, like I've said in the last podcast, that first instant of like that creativity, you want that part to be in the song, because when you start thinking about it all day, you'll forget it, and then that energy is no longer there.
Yep, it's not there, man. Yeah, like just remember, like, it's your gift, so do what you can to get good at it. Study it, learn it, figure out if there's things you don't know, like Google it. And I kid you not, YouTube is so amazing. And shout out to all the teachers on YouTube that are teaching whatever it is you want to learn for free. Like I learned when I was during the COVID, I learned piano. I learned chords, the different keys, the name of the keys, the tones, and all on YouTube. And I'm so thankful that I didn't have to pay to go to school for that, because someone so humble took the time to this was like I think it was like a 3 to 4 hour lesson that he would teach, and he got through everything. And I wanted to invest in myself because I wanted to have more sounds on my beats.
Yeah.
And of course learn, you know, fuller. I wanted to have fuller sounds on my beats when I wasn't sampling, of course. And that's a form of investment. Like I put in the time and learned it, and it made my beats that much more better. Like I am, I want to be good at this gift to share with the world, so I got to do what I can.
Yeah, that's you know, like I said, more importantly is your time. You're investing in yourself. I remember kind of like, to backtrack, yeah, we were partying every other weekend, or I should say every weekend, every day of the weekend. And it got to a point where I was like, dude, I want to just go back in the studio and go make a beat or something like that, or, you know, practice my mixing or my DJing and stuff. And you know, the homies would come through thinking they were gonna record, but then they just end up bringing like a freaking 12-pack of beer or a 24-pack of beer, and then we all get wasted.
Yeah, it was fun, you know, but
yeah, it came to a point where I was like, yeah, I'd rather be making music right now. Or they'll tell me like, hey, let's go to this bar, and I'll go to the bar and I'll just be bored because, you know, they'll be over there talking to the girls they went with, and I'm over here by myself. I'm just the third wheel, and I'm like, dude, I'd rather just be at home right now, just freaking making music.
Dude, that's exactly how I feel, man. And I think it's weird. I don't know if it's weird, but I know I'm antisocial. But I just don't know if it's just me or just being a music creator.
Mm-hmm.
Because like last week or a few weeks ago when Rockwell and Luther Gates and Paul Z were DJing, I whirled through. Glad to be there. And
Yeah,
after an hour or so, my head just zoned out. And I was like, I want to go work on music. Like,
yeah,
I don't want to get drunk. I didn't get drunk. I only had 2 beers that night, and the rest were non-alcoholics. Um, yeah, dude. I just wanted, and I caught myself too, dude. I was on my phone looking up synthesizers. So I was like, I mean, like if someone were to talk to me, of course I would talk.
yeah.
I am introverted, but I'm not a. I can, if someone speaks to me, I will, hold a conversation, to an extent. But yeah, dude, I was looking up a Behringer synthesizer, and I was like, oh, and then MPC one, and then I started thinking about music, and then towards the night, I told Jay, hey, bro, I'm gonna leave. I think I had enough. I was like, I can't take this anymore, dude. Like, and I know, like, I've always felt like that too when we'd go out to party with the homies, and whether it was at a bar or a house,
Yeah.
I was like, I just want to be making music, dude, and
Mm-hmm.
I get bored of that, and I think that's why back then I made that decision to
Yeah.
quit partying, quit all that shit, because I'd rather have more time in creating music.
Yeah. It's I don't know, like it's within us to create these melodies with these drums and stuff. Yeah, I know some people even to this day. There's like friends I know that all they want to do is like party and try to get at girls, and like that's their mission for the night. And I don't know, I can't relate to that anymore. It's half of it has to do because I'm married. The other half is because I just want to be at home, either making music, working on something, or playing video games.
Yeah.
That's just where my mind's at.
And then even too, like when you play video games, aren't you thinking about music? Like for me, like when I'm playing video games, my mind will still be on some type of creating music, and I'll be thinking about my beats or thinking about my next project. And it's like, it's weird because it's like you're playing this game and you're doing things, you're
Yeah.
you're doing whatever it is in this world, but your mind is still on making music. And that's for me, that's what I do a lot.
For me, no, playing video games is kind of an escape for me,
Yeah.
and I don't know. It's like it's a form of therapy. I don't know because whenever I play video games, like, especially when I'm like I started playing. I don't know if you've seen Star Wars: The Fallen Order. I think it's called.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a story based game where you just go through the story and it's kind of like you're living through you're playing a movie. But every time, like like I know there's people that would play the game and they just like walk around and do all the missions all like super fast. But me, I'm like taking my time walking, like instead of because this guy like he jogs the whole time, but then you can like kind of slow him down where he walks. I'd just be like walking, and in my head, I'll be like thinking of like oh, yeah, I'm just gonna freaking walk in like a boss, like who wants some? And then like one guy will come out, and I pull out my lightsaber. But then if like multiple guys comes out, the lightsaber has like the part where it has like it both of them come out.
Yeah.
So like, oh, there's more of you guys, like this. In my head, I'm thinking like of a story that way.
Yeah, I do admit I will do that sometimes too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that. It's funny that you say that because I did that on Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
So I unlocked the hero, so we were the villains or the bad guys, but I was Darth Vader.
Yeah.
So I was just wrecking fools, like, and I could tell like my teammates were laughing because there was like a big old tunnel
Yeah.
on one of the levels, and all our enemies were coming towards us. So I'd just be coasting, like they'd all be like running around, jumping, everyone acts
Yeah.
online, and me, I'd just be walking back and forth to the tunnel like I was guarding it.
Yeah.
And when the wave comes, I'd be wrecking them all, dude, most of them. And then once they're all slayed, I just walk back and forth like, come on, what's up? Who else wants some? Who else wants some
Yeah.
Debo? But yeah, it was like same thing. Like I just was chilling. I was like, I was talking. I don't know if they could hear me on the game, but I was like, oh, what's up? What you guys got, man? What you guys got, man? I'm over here. I'm over here walking.
Who else wants some?
Yeah.
Who else wants some of Debo? Yeah, but I do video games to escape, especially because if I'm working on something and I'm like super into it, and I'm like, oh, I'm thinking about it too much, man. I need to take a break. Then my break is, of course, video games.
Yeah.
But then like I create stories within those games. That's why I wish I can actually make a video game. I've had some ideas. You and me had some ideas too.
Yeah, I would love to.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, we will. Like, I'm sure we're gonna get to a point where we're gonna have a lot of time to focus.
Yes.
And focus on just that one thing, and we'll get something going. What gave me a lot of inspired me to want to make a video game is that someone made a video game, and it was a 8-bit, so it was like a Game Boy, like graphics.
Yeah, those are popular now. It's crazy.
And a company picked up his idea. Like he made it all, and the company picked it up, and now they make cartridges for it, and they're selling it.
Oh, that's cool. Oh yeah, I did see that. I saw it on TikTok.
Yeah, I was amazed. Like this guy did it. Like it took him a lot of work, a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I want to do that. So I still want to do it. Like I just gotta clear these projects out. Like I do have so much projects I need to get out, and then I could focus on doing that video game.
Yeah.
The only hardest part I think for me is I noticed that it's hard to have some type of combat graphics on the 8-bit ones. I was reading that you could have like that Pokemon style fighting where you see both of the enemies in front of you, and then you hit them first, they hit you back.
Yeah,
that was the closest thing you could do.
Yeah,
but it makes it a lot more harder work.
It's different. I want to say scenes, or I'm not sure what it's called. I do know what you're talking about. It's a form of like you have to create the animation from like him stance, halfway, punch, and it's like because when I made the NFT for Journey, I don't know if you noticed, like he's bouncing.
Mm-hmm.
So I basically, I just took the same image, I duplicated it, but then I brought it down like maybe like an inch. So then when it plays, I copy and pasted, back and forth. So he's doing that. And same thing when he goes to the left and then goes to the right. Same thing, he would go to the right, and then I duplicate it, and he's doing this. So if you guys had the time, go check out Journey on our YouTube page. You can see the NFT that I created. It took a long time, dude. It was like as easy as it was. It just took a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I was paying my dues right there.
Yeah, you're paying dues and you're learning.
Paying dues and I'm investing my time into it.
Yeah.
But then like that inspired me to like I can probably make something out of it. I do want to do a video of one of the songs on the Dope album of just making it all like video game graphics kind of thing.
Nice.
I know it's gonna take a lot of time, but that's something I really want to try to do. Oh yeah, also investing your time in yourself. Freaking, learning curves. That's always you pick and choose your learning curves. If you're making beats on Fruity Loops and you want to switch over to Pro Tools, you got to kind of think of that learning curve. Because how long is it going to take for you to learn everything in Pro Tools? You mean nobody's ever going to learn everything, but how long is it going to take for you to learn Pro Tools? How long did it take you?
It took a while, and the funny thing is that when I was working on Pro Tools, like I knew I was going to come across issues, which is weird. Like something told me you're going to come across this issue. You come across this issue, and you're gonna come across this issue, like purposely,
right?
And I think the outcome was for you to come across that issue to learn it. And I don't know if I was thinking too heavy about it, but I just thought it was pretty gnarly because you did explain to me the basics, but then when I was on my own, I came across these issues, and then like I said, I just knew it, and then I figured it out. And if I didn't, of course, I texted you. But
yeah,
it took a good it took a full day to get comfortable with it.
Right.
That time I was texting you that day all day, or in the morning I texted you for what I forgot, of course, what I didn't write down the last time you were teaching me. But a good day of putting out that looper project I did.
Yeah, and, I remember that. You're texting me and calling me.
Yeah, a good day. I think I was on there for sure. I was on the computer for 12 hours at least.
Yeah. But you're investing your time and paying your dues.
And now, gosh, when I open it up, I already know what to do.
Yeah, that's freaking dope.
I do need a little more a reminder on hooking up the MP, like when I decide to do like separate the tracks themselves. Right. So I kind of gotta need a refresher on that. But we'll do it eventually.
Yeah.
For right now, I know enough to put out projects, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah, no, that's more than enough. Yeah, it's in learning curves like that. Like that's, you always gotta be wary of that. That's why I want to switch to Logic. I'm so fluent in Pro Tools. I want to switch to Logic because it sucks. I gotta carry my iLock everywhere, and if I lose that, then that's it. I'm done.
Yeah.
Unless you get a new one, you have to register it, and I forgot all my passwords for freaking Pro Tools. So that's gonna be a mission for me if I want to re-register a new iLock. But yeah, it sucks. Like I want to switch to Logic because Logic is, you just open it up and then there you go. But I'm scared. I'm scared to get Logic because I know that learning curve is gonna be tough, and I'm like, why do I want to learn when I already know so much on Pro Tools?
Yeah. I was about to say that too. I was like, don't let learning curves scare you and discourage you.
Yeah, I know. I mean, eventually I'll do it. I'm probably gonna because you have to pay you have to pay yearly for Pro Tools. So I think once this year runs out, I'm probably just gonna go to Logic.
Yeah,
because I want to try something new.
Yeah, I know when I was learning Pro Tools, like I was telling you those issues I was coming across. Yeah, I didn't want it to discourage me because I did go in there with that mentality, like you're going to come across things you don't know, or something's not going to be where he said it was, or you're going to have to do something a little different.
Right.
So I didn't want that to be like, oh, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm just going to let you worry about it, Because I'm pretty sure you inspired me to want to learn Pro Tools.
Right.
Just to be more independent because, like I said, you know a lot of things, and like that's for me, that's very inspiring because you for sure are the definition of a one-man army. Like you can put out a beat, mix and master it, do a video for it, do cover art, like, and I feel like that's why I wanted to learn Pro Tools. That's why I was telling you, like, how to make these flyers. And now little by little, I'm trying to be a little more independent. But I'm not saying I'm going to break away because I think, for me, I know this is a little real right now, but I'm always going to need you. Like, and for me, I'm always going to need your help. I'm always going to need you in case I have questions, because I know you're the go-to guy.
Yeah.
Like I'll always, and I feel bad sometimes because I'm bothering you. I was like, hey, I don't want to bother you, but how do you do this? How do you do that?
I'll let you know right off the bat if I'm busy.
Help me out.
Yeah, no, I'll let you know right off the bat if I'm busy or not. But for the most part, I'll just what's 5 minutes gonna take for me?
Yeah.
I'll just tell you real quick. How do you do record? And I go, you just hit Command and Spacebar, bro.
What's that USB? That small USB that comes with Pro Tools. What is that? Where does that go?
Does it have sounds?
Does it go in the wall?
Do I have to charge it on the wall?
Why is there a blue light turning on?
Yeah, dude. For the most part, like I'll let you know if I'm busy, but yeah, for the most part, I'll just help you out real quick. It's nothing to me. Plus, I'd rather you learn it that way. If like say, because I always get hit up. I don't want to say I always do, but a couple times I got hit up to like mix and master tracks, and I'll do it if the money's right. What I don't like about mixing and mastering tracks is the editing part of it. So if there'll be if there's ever a time where somebody wants me to mix and master a track, then I would probably hit you up like, hey, I need you to go in and take out all the breaths on this, because a lot of times when people when they spit or they sing or whatever, they're always gonna take those in between like words.
Yep.
And yeah, there's programs to like to take those breaths out, but I don't like using those because sometimes it makes for some reason it makes it doesn't sound so natural. So yeah, I mean, if anything, I'll hit you up to like to take out the breath or to edit to make a clean version of it. Like and now of course I'll split the money with you.
Yeah, I'm down. I mean, I gotta learn a little bit more from you, but once I get to that point where you have faith in me, I'll be down.
Yeah, wait until you get into like compressions and
yeah, that's
side chaining and parallel.
Side chain is what I need help.
Of all my years learning this stuff, I just learned how to parallel compression.
Can you explain that again? I know you were talking to it with George the other day, right?
Yeah.
About was it vocals and
beats?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So here's the instance of parallel compression. Parallel compression is, if you're on a road, a car can't be on the same lane as another car at the same time. So you kind of think about that, with music. So, for instance, your vocals is at a certain frequency, so it can rip through the beat. Sometimes the beat, like a lot of times, people will get a beat off of YouTube or something like that, and the beat on YouTube or the beat that they download for free, a lot of times is mastered, and recording over a mastered beat this is why I say you shouldn't master your beats unless it's a single. If it's already mastered, then it's gonna be hard to like cut those vocals through that frequency. So in order to compensate, is you want a parallel compression. Parallel compression, what it does is like those frequencies that the vocals sit on. And anytime the vocals hit those frequencies, that little part of the beats, that frequency, it'll dip. So that's compression. So every time your vocals are gonna be like, it's basically gonna be on the same road. So it's gonna be like a ghost car in the same road as a real car.
Okay.
So that's what it is. It's parallel compression, and you can do that to anything. You can do that to a kick and an 808. You can do that to a snare and a hi-hat. Like you can do all kinds of parallel compressions. It's a lot more steps, believe it. Like when it comes to like mixing and mastering, that's a lot more steps you got to take. But at the end, the end result is what you want.
It's funny that you say that because before you were talking about that, I sampled vocals and I put it on a beat, one of my beats, and it just didn't sound right.
Yeah,
like the vocals sounded, of course, like you said, it was mixed, it was mastered.
And it's not cluttered, no.
Yeah, it just didn't sound right. I couldn't understand why it sounded like that. There shouldn't be no clashing, but that's funny when you explained it. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's parallel compression. That's a whole different monster, man. A lot of the stuff is just different monsters you just gotta conquer.
Yeah,
kind of like you're on a quest, on a video game quest, and you just gotta freaking
go the quest to sidechain.
Go through all
kicks
these bosses.
And 808s.
Yeah, but yeah, I use compression, especially for my 808s, my kicks, my 808s, because you want sometimes they're on the same frequencies, and you want that kick to hit you right away.
Yeah.
And then the 808 come right after. So that's when you gotta kind of parallel compression that shit.
I really wish that the MPC would offer that. Maybe I haven't looked too much into it. I have YouTubed it and try to see people do their way, but it'd be nice if there's a button, like a compression. Maybe on the new MPC 1 possibly, but
the way I figured it and the way I used to do it back in the day before I learned about like compression and parallel compression is for instance your kicks, I would take the low end out and you will only hear the mid section of the kick because the 808's going to be the one that's going to boom.
So would you chop it up then?
So I would make 2 tracks of the same kick.
Okay.
So on the part where the 808's at and the kick hit at the same time, I would cut out the low end of the kick so that you just hear the 808 when it hits. It's
yeah.
But then when there's like no 808 behind the kick on a separate track, I would pump that
Oh, that normal one.
That normal one.
Okay.
So that you might just hear boom, 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 boom,
okay.
boom, like.
All right, I'm already thinking of one of my beats because it had the kicks and the 808s clash because they're both going hard.
Mm-hmm. But that's just what I would do because I didn't know about compression, parallel compression.
So you said you did this on the MPC?
I did that, yes, on the MPC.
So I know I kind of didn't really ask, right? But when it comes to getting the low end on that or whatever you want to take out, you would just physically chop that part out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of the kick.
Okay, got you.
Yeah. But that was back when I was like, separating the tracks from the MPC. I wouldn't mix anything. I wouldn't pull up any EQs on the Pro Tools. I would just freaking like have everything mixed on the MPC, and that's how I would bring it in. And
that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, that was a cool like little starter. Some of my beats were just clipping like crazy, but as long as they sounded good, that's all I cared about. I didn't have anybody teaching me. I was paying dues. I was investing time into myself. But yeah, and another thing, kind of to circle back. Another reason why I want you to learn Pro Tools is because, what if you get hit up to do a project or something like that, and they need you to be there, and what do you separate your beats on? And he's like, oh, I use Pro Tools. Like, all right, cool. Can you separate some beats for me. And you're not gonna call me right away. What if I'm on vacation or something like that? So kind of being independent and having to know how to do it yourself. Like pretend like I'm not there. Kind of thing. So a lot of that's what I was thinking about the other day too. Was like I did a lot of work on the Dope album, and
it's out already, right?
Yeah, it's out, and you guys can check it out streaming on all platforms. But I did a lot of work, and I just was telling myself, dude, imagine if I didn't exist, would all this music come out?
That goes to show you have a purpose, dude.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's for your own purpose right now or that's a good, that you just blew my mind, dude.
Yeah. And I was like thinking about that the other day, and I'm like, damn, I do a lot of shit sometimes.
And think about it too, like if you didn't exist, you wouldn't have brought out the potential in so much people, Mm-hmm. Or then again, who knows? That's a huge mystery. But the way I see it is like everyone's here for that reason, and they're supposed to mingle and teach these people. Yeah,
that's why
super gnar.
Yeah, before iStandard, remember when we used to go to the beat camps?
Mm-hmm.
I always saw myself on one of those panels, like doing a presentation. I'm just telling everybody my story, kind of. I don't know. I always kind of like saw myself as one of them.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Nice.
iStandard, I think they all split up. They all started doing their own thing.
Okay. Branched out?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm still, still pretty cool with everybody. They all know me by my first name, which is awesome. That's a huge blessing. I'm glad to know those guys, and I'm glad they know me. I still get emails from J Hatch every so often.
That's dope, dude.
Yeah.
That's super dope that they keep in contact with you.
Yeah. I do want to go to another event though. I can't wait for this whole corona to freaking finally be done with. Get vaccinated and just go to these events. There's one thing I do miss. I do miss going to the events and collaborating. I don't miss the critiques.
Yeah.
I don't, because like we talked about in the past, the way we make these beats, to us it sounds perfect. You do not need to change anything.
Nah, I don't. I think that they were just looking at it through a moneymaker's perspective.
That and they look at it on how they would do things.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if you've heard these new songs nowadays. How we're always told not to sample, especially well-known songs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's her name? I think it's Doja Cat. She's sampling old school South.
Oh yeah.
Dirty South freaking songs. And that's dope. That's super dope.
Is it considered? Is it because like that music's considered old school now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like what?
It's
Probably
like
10, 15, maybe even 20 years ago.
I think too. I heard a song earlier, and they sampled the '90s a '90s R&B track. I think it was Mary J. Blige. I think it was DJ Khaled where they sampled a Lauryn Hill.
Oh yeah.
Well, I know that one, but this one I kind of thought it was probably DJ Khaled. I think Drake was on there. That's why I assumed. But yeah, I was thinking '90s are being sampled now, and '90s is the oldies now. You know.
Yeah, that's insane that it's like that now. But I mean, we were always told growing up, when we were coming up, to don't sample these songs.
Sorry, I had to stand up.
Oh, yeah, we were always told not to sample those songs because that's well known, and yeah, nowadays everybody's doing it. So it's like there's no rules anymore. Whatever sounds cool, whatever the end result is.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Whatever's dope, there, as long as it's dope now.
Yeah. Like, what's funny is, like, kind of to be off topic. You don't really notice some of the things. Like, like when you make a beat and you add like an extra hi hat in one little spot because you think he needs it. You're the only one that can hear that. And it's funny because on TikTok the other day, I showed you the video too, where this guy was pretending to be like Michael Jackson and his entire band. And his band, like the bass player's getting down, and then the guitar player's getting down, and you see just Michael Jackson go, oh, like,
Was it a cowbell or a shaker?
No, it was a shaker.
Yeah.
He's right there, like, all like he feel like he's not doing it. He just and he does that, and everybody's like, oh, like,
they get into it, like,
yeah, like, oh, and then like you see Michael Jackson go like.
Yeah,
like, that was like that was funny, but then like that. As a producer, you're the only one that notices that. No one else notices that.
For real, dude.
Yeah, the stuff like that is like funny to me, and yeah, the people don't really notice the little things you add here and there. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, the whole compression we just got into, like, people are like, oh, they're talking about stuff I don't know about.
These nerds getting into it.
There's freaking nerds.
This is the time I'm gonna click off this podcast because these guys,
you nerd.
These nerds are getting into their nerd lingo. So yeah, dude, I think we gotta. I think we have a good is it a foundation, or we're disciplined?
Yeah.
But we just keep putting in work for ourselves, and I know there's gonna be that outcome, that dope, awesome outcome.
The dope.
I don't know what
Volume
it's gonna
2?
be.
No, I'm just kidding.
Out now on all platforms. I know it's gonna be awesome, but I know we're getting to that point where something amazing is gonna happen for us.
Yeah.
And I like it because we're putting in more work, like I said. And what's getting, I think, is for me is a sign also, is that my 9 to 5 is getting harder and more stressful, and I'm hating it more. And I was telling you this last week after the podcast, but I feel like that was a sign because it's how do I explain it? I'm gonna get to where I'm supposed to be. I'm gonna reach that outcome. I'm gonna achieve that goal.
Right.
But and the universe knows that. So my job is getting harder and more stressful to the point where it's trying to get me to not work on music after work. So it's trying to stop me.
Yeah.
And it's trying harder to stop me. But I'm not gonna let it happen. I'm gonna be like, well, fuck you, like, I'm gonna fucking keep putting in work. That was two cuss words.
2 F words.
Shit.
Scheiße.
Damn. Okay, so yeah, anyways. It's getting harder. The 9 to 5 is getting harder, more stressful, and on purpose to stop me from working on music. And I feel like that is the reason it's doing that, to stop me from getting where I'm from achieving that goal, because it knows I'm gonna get there already.
Right.
So they're doing everything they can to stop us, but it's not gonna happen. I'm already a mindset on this music, what I do, putting in work.
Yeah. It's funny because the other day when you sent me that, I think you sent me that video, and the homies are always priding themselves, like, like how fast they are at work and how like thorough they are, and they're always like making fun of you and me. It's like, oh, we're faster than you guys, whatever, whatever. But then you show me that video of like that guy's like, oh, like, dude, don't be the guy that's good at your job, because you know you can basically get fired the next day, and then they'll have your position posted. So what's the point of being the best at your job, that especially a job you don't like?
For reals, they're this. It's just they're gonna take advantage of you.
Yeah.
And if it'd be a different story if there was an outcome, there was a you would achieve something from working hard, but not. You're not gonna become a manager or supervisor. You're gonna stay in the same position. Of course, you'll get a little more money to keep you from quitting.
Yep.
But most likely, they just want you to stay in line, slave. Stay in line, be a good boy, and work hard so that you can keep making us money. That's the way I see it. For a lot of these businesses,
come in on your days off, help Daniel.
They want you to come in on your days off because no one else wants to, and you're tired. And this is not just our job. I'm noticing and I'm hearing from other people that it's all these jobs.
Yeah.
And it's so weird. You know, we are programmed at a young age to stay in line. What's the first thing you do when you went to school? Line up, kids.
Yep.
You know, and when you're older and you're buying something and a lot of people want to buy something, what do you guys automatically do? Form a line.
Yep.
You know, so you're programmed. You're programmed to be a slave. But stay in line. Don't question.
I think I sent you that video this morning about the guy talking about like the boomers and the older versions of the Gen Zs. The Gen Z? No.
I'm not up to date. Gen Z is a new one, right?
Whatever. Yeah. Were you and me are considered millennials?
We're considered the older millennials, but we're still millennials.
So the generation before us and then the generation before them.
Yeah, this Generation X is before us, right? And then the boomers are before them, and then Generation Z is the younger ones now. I take it
is all the TikTok kids.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so the boomers and then the Generation X, they were always brought up to think that a job defines them, like whatever job you do that defines you. That's Harry. He's the plumber. You know, like that. That's just how people identified you.
It's old John, the bread maker,
and
he's a baker.
Millennials came out and they were kind of like following their footsteps, but then they kind of thought to themselves like, why do I want to freaking work my whole life just so I can retire at 60 or 70? And I only got like 10, 15 years to live after that.
Yep.
And millennials started getting smarter, so they started becoming hustlers where they can just work for themselves. And a lot of the older generation hate that. Because they're so in their mind, like, we have to work. You have to get a job. You have to, and it's...
They don't want you to think for yourself.
Yeah.
I'll do the thinking for you. You just work, slave.
And that's another thing too about especially college nowadays. It's starting to be. It's going to get to a point where college is no longer going to be required to work at a certain spot.
It's another trap.
Yeah, so it's
a trap to get you in debt, and now you're forced to work because now you're in debt and you got to pay your debt off.
Yeah.
A lot of times they can't even get the job. That was another example. And when I was working, this nurse was bragging about her son. He went to Harvard.
Right.
And you did all that schooling, and she says, yeah, he can't get a job, and he's still working at a pizza joint. Now he's in debt. What the fuck's wrong with that picture, you know?
Yep.
It's all, dude, it kind of frustrates me because I don't want to be like that woke guy that keeps telling everyone, wake up, people. We're in this simulation, you know? But when you start to look at the bigger picture and you realize that a lot of us are set for failure. They just want us to be. We're modern day slaves, dude.
Yeah.
Like they program us. Okay, let me explain it. We're at a young age. They tell us to go to school, be a doctor, be something. You know, go to college. So a lot of people go to college. They become in debt. And then while that's happening, they're programming you also to keep up with the Joneses. So a lot of people have to get that new car. A lot of people have to get that house. A lot of people have to get that shit that they don't need. And
Yeah.
guess what? You're in debt from even more in debt. So now you have your college debt, you have your credit card debt, and then you have a house to pay. Everyone needs a house. That kind of not really something that we all need, so that doesn't really matter. But you have that payment, and then you're stuck in that trap. And then guess what? So you're in debt. So you are stuck in this job that you might not like, and now you can't quit. Why? Because you have all this debt that you have to pay. That's why you work till you're 60, 70 years old, and then you
Yep.
can retire, and there's a high chance that you might still be programmed to keep up with the Joneses. So what do people do after they get their car paid? They buy another car.
Yeah.
Why? Because they keep promoting it.
We'll offer you this much for your
Mhm.
car if you
Yeah, and then
just
when you
buy a
leave
new
with
car.
when you leave with the new car, it goes down from a $50,000 car, it goes down to
Yeah.
$10,000.
Yeah. As soon as you
And
drive off the lot.
it's there's so much programming that people don't realize it, but that's I could talk about that forever, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
But then you got geniuses that they have. To me, like if you're paying your dues, you're going to you're getting all A's in school, and you go into college and you become a doctor. So maybe you become like a doctor that can find a cure for cancer. Then by all means pay your dues.
But then they'll whack you when you find the cure for cancer because the medical industry loses money if you find a cure
That's true.
for cancer.
There's no money in the
There's no
cure.
money.
There's only money in the treatment.
Mm-hmm. Medication prolongs your illnesses, dude. Doesn't cure it.
Yeah, but some know when to choose what you pay dues for.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the whole episode.
Yeah, we got hella off topic, but
Yeah, I know, dude.
you got me, and you threw me a bone, and I took it.
I gave it an inch. You took a mile.
Yeah, dude. I think I'll just finish it right here. Just I live life, like I'm poor, and I do not want to have any type of credit card to be uh, thrown back into that trap. It's good to have one for backup,
Mm-hmm.
but don't try to. I myself don't want to use it to be sucked into the trap of owing them money. And yeah, that's it. I save my money and I live life like I'm poor. I don't want to get an. I mean, you'll get a new car if you have to, of course. But you don't really need that new car once you got yours paid off.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me. I'm a weirdo.
I just like.
But if you got the money, like by all means, be a baller. Enjoy it,
Yeah.
But for the ones that don't have money, that's how you get sucked into that trap.
Be humble.
Sit down, be humble.
If you get a lot of money, buy the people that you care for a house.
Mm-hmm. Of course, that's my goal is to
or pay off the house that they live in currently.
Yeah, and that's why I'm putting in work in this music is to get that to get my family, get my mom a house and because I know that if I put in work with this music, I'm gonna have that dream will come true, and that everything I want will come from me putting in work and working hard on my music. I'm not gonna see it from my 9 to 5.
Yeah,
like I don't see myself being promoted to a boss. Like it's not gonna happen. So that's why I'm not gonna be the team player. Of course I'll do my job. I'm not gonna be a effing piece of crap at work that just doesn't want to do anything. When I go there, I'll make sure to work good, you know.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm not gonna be a sucker.
No, I'm not gonna come in on my days off to help out unless I'm on call.
Thanks, sucker. I mean, team player.
Yeah, one time I got called in. Oh, I didn't get called. They called everybody, but I'm not. I think I was the only one that answered the phone. So I went into work and I'm like, "Is anybody else coming in?" They were like, "No." I'm like, "Oh, did you call anybody else?" Like, "Yeah, but you're the only one that answered." And I was like, "Oh, so I was the only sucker?" And the boss looked at me like, "Yeah," and he walked away. I was like, "Oh man." But thank you guys if you guys stayed this long. You know, you got past our conversation about about compression and parallel compression, and then we got into like the little bit of the.
I'm gonna talk about UFOs now. So you guys, you see the lights moving in the sky? There's some damn UFOs around here.
Man, I got abducted by a UFO, man, and they probed me, man. And I'm hoping they come back and do it again, man. Maybe they put some knowledge in my head.
I think one of them was my cousin. He looked like my cousin. Did we already go an hour?
Yeah, dude, we're an hour and 20 now.
Oh, wow. Man, I didn't get to say one more thing.
Go ahead, say
a positive thing, I guess. So, love your damn self, because if you do not love yourself, no one will ever love you the way you want to be loved.
Self-love.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys for tuning in to the All Fresh Chat. We've been saying that we are trying to get our audio version of this podcast on all streaming platforms. We're still trying to figure out the kinks, you know, the whole RSS code that everybody needs to stream their audio. We will figure this out. We will have it all on streaming websites, so you don't have to tune into YouTube as much. Although we appreciate everybody that tunes into YouTube. Thank you guys. Of course, thanks for the support. Thank you everybody that, you know, that gives us, you know, the clothing and stuff, all the homies that I guess we can call it sponsoring, right?
I would say
the homie Quest for Sound, you know, gave us a shirt and we rocked it, and that's basically he sponsored us.
Mm-hmm.
Scratch Wrench Shoes, same thing. Yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you.
Much love, everyone. Hopefully, we said some things that you might take into, you know, apply it to yourself if you're putting in work.
Yep.
I know we're bullshitting today, and I kind of liked it. I think it was nice to just bullshit.
Yeah.
Sorry for cussing. I said it twice.
And we will have special guests. So we're not just saying that so people can tune in. We are going to get special guests. The whole working concept is, yeah, it puts a freaking damper on everything we want to do, but we'll get them. So thank you guys for tuning in. This is the All Fresh Chat. I am l.hundo, the DJ Bass. Peace.